It's the Score North Twin Show. Baseball!
I've said all along, don't let the Twins get hot. Don't let the Twins get hot.
Oh.
They have a successful homestand. They go 5-1 against the lowly White Sox and lowly Angels. In fact, I'll have a playoff update odds for you because I find it kind of hilarious what has happened in the last week to their playoff odds.
Are we skyrocketing?
No.
Not quite.
No, it's actually hilarious what's happened. So we'll talk about it here in just a bit. Hit the like button and the subscribe button, though, on the Score North Twin Show YouTube channel. Twins have a successful homestand, have now a very pivotal road stretch of games coming up, and just a tough stretch overall over the next few weeks. So let's see what type of vibes we get from the Twins. But a shout-out to our friends at Park Dentl, Phil, who are making life and making your teeth a little easier and whiter. Speaking of getting hot, you want to make sure your teeth are looking nice when you go to the dentist, right?
That's right. When you flash a big goofy grin after another great starting pitching performance. So, yeah, Park Dentl has been awesome for me the last, 8-9 months. I've done two different, every 6-month checkups with them after not having a dentist for a year and a half. So it was a scary place to be, dentistless, out in the wilderness, and Park Dentl saved me. Over 50 years, Park Dental's been caring for and cleaning teeth in Minnesota and Western Wisconsin. And I have documentarians follow me everywhere whenever I get a dentist appointment. This is really normal footage here on the Score North Twin Show YouTube channel. But it was a great time. I've had 2 awesome interactions and cleanings, and if you're looking for a new or better dental experience, schedule your checkup at parkdental.com. That is parkdental.com. Dex.
Baseball!
All right, state of the Twins. Some positives that have taken place in the last week. So they're 12-16 now. They're 4th place in the AL Central. They're 6 games back of the Central, which I believe is the exact same spot they were before winning 5 of 6. So that goes to show if you get off to a bad start, even when you play a hot stretch of games, you can still find yourself in the exact same spot you were a week ago. They are 3 games out of the wild card, but offense has ticked up. They're now 21st in runs scored per game. They're 22nd in team OPS. They're 16th with runners in scoring position. On the pitching side, overall in ERA, they're 10th in Major League Baseball. For starter ERA, they're 12th, thanks to Joe Ryan and a dominant performance yesterday. Bullpen ERA, they're 10th. So they're above league average pitching. They've now kind of leveled up and figured some stuff out there. So I teased this at the beginning. The Twins won 5 of 6 games against the White Sox and Angels, and their playoff odds actually went down in a week. They went down by 0.6%. Despite winning 5 of 6 games. They're at a 7.7% chance to make the playoffs, according to Baseball Reference. Depends on what Stu you're looking at. I'm looking at Baseball Reference. So it's a 7.7% chance, down by about a 0.5% chance from a week. Less than 1% chance to win the World Series. The Tigers, by the way, according to Baseball Reference, 99% chance to be a playoff team. Already.
99?
Yes.
It's aggressive.
99.
A little aggressive.
A little high.
It's not even May yet.
Yeah. They have the highest playoff odds in Major League Baseball.
All right.
So,
okay.
Vibe check, though. Judd, what's the vibe check after I know you loved watching the White Sox and Angels being in town from your TV or even from Target Field? What is your vibe check for the Twins after a successful homestand?
Well, for all of the reasons that you brought up with basically it's hard to make up ground when you get off to a terrible start, I think the vibes are mixed. So you did win 5 of 6 against the Sox and the Angels, but I'll take you back to Friday night when soft-throwing Kyle Hendricks, the former Cub, is on the mound for the Halos, and with a sinker that was clocked at 86.8 miles per hour, it hits poor Luke Keaschall and fractures his right forearm. And so like the Twins finally had this guy who was up here. His at-bats were outstanding. He was 7 for 19, 3 doubles, 5 stolen bases, really a spark plug guy. Like, that's the type of guy, I'm not saying he'd save the season, but he does provide a spark. Luke, there's the baseball card right there.
Do you think a little less of him because his bones are so brittle that they were broken by an 86-mile-an-hour soft fastball?
If that sinker had hit Wallner's arm, it's a home run because it bounces off and goes out of the ballpark. But anyway, they're mixed because it really felt like this kid was providing a spark and, was going to stick here. And so, yeah, it's great to win 5 of 6. The White Sox are pathetic again. The Angels actually came in, I believe, at 12-12. So they were not like their record. I don't think they're that good, but it was not terrible. But the Keaschall thing to me is a big, heck, as a fan too, it's a bummer. So I'm going mixed.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm gonna use medical vernacular here to describe Twins vibes. You know how like if something terrible happens and you're in the hospital, you could be pronounced dead, which would be terrible. You could be in critical condition, stable condition, and then like fair condition. I don't know what's above fair. I guess you're just like you're
discharged.
Fine. You're discharged.
Get out of the hospital.
Get out.
Yeah.
Insurance bills are piling up. Get out.
Last Monday on our State of the Twins, I think the Twins their season was in critical condition. It's now been upgraded to stable condition.
Oh wow.
Stable. They're still in the hospital. They still have a bunch of like IVs and different things. They're doing testing. They're monitoring, but they've been upgraded from critical to stable condition here, having beat some bad teams over the past week.
We are now concerned about a staph infection.
Right. So we got to
monitor. That's what happens. You're in the hospital. There's all these germs, right? And you get a staph infection, and the damn staph infection kills you.
By the way, that's STAFF infection because you never know when Simeon Woods Richardson could just like take a nosedive again. And it's a nice outing this weekend, but
nice work.
So stable. Twins vibes are stable.
Okay. My vibes these are pivotal vibes coming up right now. So good for you. You beat up on some bad teams. You're still somewhat trying to figure some things out here a little bit, but there's been some positives too. But the stretch coming up here. So you're going on the road. You're going to go play Cleveland for 4. You're going to play at Boston for 3. The Guards 15-12 on the season. Last year, I think you only picked up 3 wins, and 2 of those wins came on a doubleheader sweep in one day. But Guards kind of kicked your butt last year. So that's going to be a very big 4-game series for the Twins. Plus at Boston, who 16-14 right now, but a young, exciting, fun team that a lot of people were talking about too in the offseason. Then you come back home, and you got to play San Francisco, who's been awesome this season. Baltimore has scuffled, but these next 9, 12 games are going to be very big for the Twins because, yeah, you beat up on the bad teams. That's good. What happens here? And maybe I can formulate a Dex Plan 2.0, which, by the way, only missed by 1 game.
Oh, they came on strong there at the end. Yeah.
Yep. So they only missed it by 1 game. I can probably give you maybe the next Dex Plan here before the episode ends. I'll make sure my math is like right by 5 different times from checking and still messing it up. But yeah, these are pivotal vibes coming up for the Twins because it's some tough teams that they're going to face.
Yeah. Can I give you guys my favorite thing? Can I jump in line here? Because I think we've hammered this guy. He's the heartbeat of this thing in so many ways, but he has been the prime reason why the Twins are buried in the standings. But my favorite thing over the weekend is Carlos Correa is coming to life a little bit here. So he came into the weekend with 14 hits on the season in like a month of baseball. And he had like 50% of his season hit total this weekend against the Angels. He raised his OPS almost 100 points from where it was on Friday. Knocked in 3 runs over the weekend. Got on base 7 different times. So I would just say Carlos Correa coming to life with his bat. I think that if the Twins have any chance of getting back in this thing, going on a run, now that Keaschall's out, Royce Lewis, we'll see. He missed the first month. You've had injury issues, but I think you don't fight back and become an 87-win wild card team if it's not Carlos Correa as one of the 2 or 3 heartbeat pieces of this thing.
Royce's Dex. Royce supposed to be back maybe for the beginning of the next homestand. Is that right?
That's what it sounds like. He's traveling with. So the Saints were home this weekend.
Okay.
He's going to DH, I believe, on Tuesday. The Saints are off on Monday.
Okay.
So he's going to DH, and then they need him to play consecutive 9-inning games, and then I would assume that next Tuesday against San Fran, Royce, that's probably a target soft date for Royce to be back with the lineup.
Okay.
Which is good. On Correa, him basically acknowledging before the Friday series against the Angel, just straight up on the record, my swing sucks right now. I believe there was actually another word thrown in before the sucks, but he acknowledged my swing bleeping sucks right now. That's the problem. His glove is still great, but his swing stinks. And yeah, the Angels aren't shoving out the 90s Braves rotation, but for him to come out and have a 6-hit performance, yesterday was his first 3-hit game of the entire season.
Yeah.
Luckily, Stu Thornley changed an E4 to a hit for Carlos Correa to give him that 3rd hit. But that was
Stewie.
Stewie, MLB was going to call you anyway.
Yeah, seriously. But Correa stepping up was pretty big there. I'll give you my favorite Twins thing. There's a couple, but I'll go with just yesterday's Joe Ryan's performance. Yeah. Joe Ryan was magnificent again. Yes, they need their aces and they need their guys. Number one, they need their top guys to go into the 6th and 7th inning. That was just the 3rd start by a Twins starting pitcher this season. Joe Ryan has 2 of them now, by the way, where a starter completed 7 innings of work. Like we've played almost 30 games. It's only happened 3 times. And again, he was mostly in cruise control. The fastball, which is interesting here, he's never thrown a hard fastball. It's around 94, 95, but his release point and the spin rates cause a lot of swing and miss. It is incredible that you can see a fastball that's only clocking in about 94, 95, and you're generating all these swings and misses. I believe 28 total swings and misses on all of his pitches yesterday. But he can be really deceptive with that fastball. And when you're taxing your bullpen and you don't have off days and you have guys that are 5 and flies right now, you need a performance where your starter absolutely shoves and goes 7 innings. So I'd say Joe Ryan's start on Sunday was definitely my favorite thing.
It was impressive. What, 10 strikeouts you said?
11.
11 strikeouts?
Yeah.
I mean, that's, he was, that is huge too, because I think it was his last outing against the Braves in Atlanta. He was not good. Now, I think the previous 2 starts before that, he was pretty solid. But yeah, there's certain things like Phil's right. Correa has to hit. Joe Ryan has to pitch well. I'm going to go for my favorite thing since we've covered shortstop. We've covered the starting pitching staff. I'm going to go way out to the bullpen. And I'm going to go sit down by our old buddy Griffin Jacks. And I'm going to put my arm around Jacksy. And I'm going to say, welcome back. Welcome to the season. It appears that you've joined. He has now struck out 7 of the last 11 batters that he's faced in his past 3 outings, all of them scoreless. He had previously given up 16 hits and 10 earned runs in 11 innings. The velocity hadn't differed, but according to what I saw from a story in the Star Tribune Twins notebook on Sunday, the issue was his location. He was not locating the ball. It looks like he is now, much like with Correa and Ryan, Griffin Jacks, like if this team is going to get it turned around, hell, if they're going to be respectable, they need Griffin Jacks. And if this is the version now, the 2024 Griffin Jacks has now joined the 2025 season, that to me is enormous. So my favorite thing is Griffin Jacks.
Yeah. He basically went to Rocco after the struggles here and said, let me go down a little bit in terms of the hierarchy. Let me pitch the 7th. Let me get some confidence up here and said, and that's a hard, number one, that's a super hard thing to admit, and especially a guy that's been their high leverage dude for the better part of the last 2 years of, I need to get some confidence back, and there's some things location-wise I need to also kind of fix on the fly when I'm not just doing my bullpens. And in the 7 innings, he's at the 7th inning where he's been pitching pretty much the entire homestand, that's worked out well for him. It's also helped that Louie Varland has kind of finally is living up to the potential that we've been thinking he can have as a bullpen arm. The knuckle curve's been awesome. The fastball's been awesome. But I think for Jacks to have the self-realization of, hey, I need to work on some stuff. You can just look at my resume and say I've already costed us 2, if not 3 games this season from my unfortunate outings. I like that he had the self-awareness to do that. and it's worked out for him here. And I bet there's going to be other opportunities where he is back, pitching the 8th and 9th inning for the Twins.
Let me ask beat podcaster Dex a question here, because you've been in that clubhouse exponentially more than the rest of the show here this season. Do you think this team has the makeup and the personality, and then on top of that, like the skill and the players in that clubhouse to dig out of this thing and to become a playoff team?
Yes. I think they have the makeup and the chemistry for it. Yeah, I do. I know things got really bad towards the end of last year with Correa missing time. Buck missed some time. Young players like Brooksley and Royce really struggled offensively. And then you just, when you start losing like that, it just turns bad. And yeah, there was no stopper and there was no person to kind of, jump on my back and let's dig out of this, or let's just find a stable ground. But I look around, and that's the same group that snapped a playoff streak 2 years ago. And dude, there's probably been some better Twins teams on paper that certainly should have made playoff runs. And it's 70 to 80% of the group that's in that locker room right now are the ones that snapped a playoff losing streak that MVPs and Cy Young winners could not. So I would say yes, that they do have the makeup to do it.
They can't, once Royce comes back though, they can't lose him again. Like I would say Royce, like it all pivots around to me, Buxton continuing to play. And by the way, he did it again. I think it was on Saturday, running the bases, completely screwed up the game for the Angels, but Royce Lewis can't miss time again. And he has to be the Royce that we saw previously, not at the end of last season, right?
Yep. Yes, there's a lot of ifs, like Griffin Jacks. You've already given up. He gave up 10 earned runs in the first 3 weeks of the season. He gave up 16 earned runs all year last year. So it's like, all right, because of that, you've already kind of given up your allotted. There can be a couple more here and there, but you have to be damn near flawless for the next 5 months, because we're talking about climbing over multiple teams in a race, and
you're right,
playing at like a 90 to 95 win pace from now until the end of the year just to get back mathematically.
Yep.
Bailey Ober too. It's like, once again, he gets shelled in the first game, and then, but I'll say Bailey Ober, even, we haven't talked about him yet on this episode. So it's the annual Bailey Ober opening day meltdown, and then he's got to chase the statistics the rest of the way. Well, his last 4 starts, he's given up only 6 earned runs in 22 innings, 2.42 ERA, a 20-4 strikeout to walk ratio. I think that's the Bailey Ober you're going to get going forward here. So I think you're going to be able to rely really heavily on Bailey Ober to be fine after that meltdown. Joe Ryan, if he's healthy, has been one of the better pitchers in baseball for 3 years. So like, there's a lot of interesting pieces that exist that a lot of teams that get buried like this don't get access to. But there's also a lot of ifs and hypotheticals that have to happen for them to go on the run that's necessary.
And the problem too is a bad start leaves you no leeway. Like, you can't get guys hurt now. Like, you can't, like,
well,
you know.
And that's the thing about Keaschall. It's like, man,
right? No, I know.
Keaschall with Lewis coming back would have been such a punch.
But guys get, Correa cannot come out. Once Royce gets back, he cannot come out. Buxton cannot come out. Like, if you have anything, the problem is, if anything goes wrong now, and let's say it's just fluky, it's going to bury you because of your start.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, is that's why you cannot afford to be, I think you can afford to be okay to start a season. I sure don't think that you can afford to be horse bleep, because it's the rare team, and it's been done, but it's the rare team that gets on a roll and then just starts to get luck as well. Injury luck, guys get hot, things like that.
On the Keaschall front, a displaced forearm fracture, and I believe it was just one. So there's 2 main bones in your forearm. Yes, I consulted with a medical professional on this. I am not making this up.
I saw on Twitter, your sister, huh?
If it's one bone, and I believe it was just the one bone, you're looking at a 6-week recovery time of just bone healing. So, I mean,
sure.
Hopefully, like, maybe he's back late June before the All-Star break at some point, but a broken arm. And that's the guy that also just, like, plays hard. He steals bases. So just a really unfortunate injury for Keaschall.
Does Brooksley go to second now? Once Royce is back?
Might, yeah, and he's been swinging a better bat lately.
Yeah.
He's swinging a
Well, I
better
mean,
bat,
I just
which
like
is
his
good.
glove anywhere. Like second base itself as a position is sort of a dark hole now. So like I think I'd rather go Brooks Lee at second, get plays made there. Yeah, he's swinging. He's not great at the plate, but I don't think he's a huge detriment. And I mean, I would prefer Royce at second base, but I think I'm screaming at at clouds on that. I don't think that's going to happen.
I have a Luke Keaschall related least favorite thing here in a second. But would love to shout out here that we are looking to raise some awareness for an important cause all throughout the next few weeks at Score North and on the Score North Twin Show. That suicide affects the construction industry very specifically, and we can all play a part in helping to save lives and make a difference for those who build our communities, the construction workers who oftentimes suffer from mental illness. But hiking this Saturday, May 30, or on Saturday, May 31st, in almost a month from now, at Legends Crossings at Vikings Lakes in Egan, you can help spread awareness and understanding and send the message that help is available and raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Join us for the Construction Hike for Hope by visiting afsp.org/mnconstruction. That's afsp.org/mnconstruction. A shout out to Underdog Fantasy, Dex.
Yeah. Underdog promo code SCORE still gets you up to $1,000 deposit match. I'm seeing right now actually on the Underdog app, which you can get on the App Store or Google Play Store. I got 20% profit boost on points for NBA games, 20% profit boost on hits for Major League Baseball. Heck, 20% profit boost on shots. That's right, shots for the NHL. So you can take a variety of different options at Underdog, ride higher or lower on them, and send those screenshots in too. If you're getting some nice wins at Underdog, we love to see that. Promo code SCORE SKOR for up to $1,000 deposit match. All right, your least favorite Twins things.
Yeah, it's kind of Keaschall fallout related, and Keaschall, you're hoping that he can be an everyday fielder, but he had been kind of DHing too because they're trying to bring him back from the injury. But my least favorite thing is the Twins have such a punchless DH spot to start the season. Like Mickey Gasper was the designated hitter in that game yesterday. It's like,
dude, look at the bench.
I know. I'm not saying there's like a prime Jim.
No,
Thome
but I'm saying look
there
at the bench. Like Cody Clemens is on the bench now.
I know. So, but I looked this up here before the show. League wide, let's see here. The Twins rank 27th out of 30 major league teams in designated hitter slugging percentage. The only teams that are swinging a wetter noodle at that position are the Cardinals, the Rockies. In that altitude, the Rockies are slugging 237, and the Rangers. So the Twins' designated hitter slugging percentage is only 312 on the season. And Mickey Gasper was sort of the poster boy for that being a problem in yesterday's game. You gotta find a little punch. Guys need to stay healthy. I mean, there's not like an obvious turnkey solution because the roster and the 40-man are what they are right now, and there's not like a logical trade to be made on April 28th.
And Wallner's
is what it is.
Still out for a extended period. All right, I saw that from Derek Falvey, I believe it was.
He's not close.
Man,
Hamstrings, man. They're brutal.
The Rockies, by the way, 4-23. 4-23.
So crazy.
It's absolutely pathetic. Okay, my least favorite thing, because I'm old and lazy, I'm staying in the bullpen. I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stay out there. Jorge Alcala is carrying around right now a 9 ERA, 10 appearances, 10 innings. He has walked 7 in that time. Now, just for a point of reference, in 54 games in 2024, 3.24 ERA. So a guy that this team really likes and that this team is continually tried to put up with when things go wrong. And it often appears that there have been times, Declan, where he gets things right. But this is another guy, I don't think you can afford this. So he's another guy that needs to, and unlike Jacks, he has yet to turn things around. He needs to turn things around because he definitely was part of the second tier of potentially a really good bullpen that we discussed in spring training. And he has been nowhere near reaching expectations. If I'm not mistaken, his problems might have started August 17th of last year in Texas, because I believe that he was the guy who started. The Twins were up, 4-rip against the Rangers. They were in great shape in the standings. Alcala melts down completely. Not sure he's recovered completely from that, but the Twins need him.
So many relievers comes down with struggles. It comes down to mental stuff. Jorge Alcala has the physical ability and the stuff to be one of the best relievers on the team, and honestly, one of the better relievers in baseball. He has not been able to put together, I think, the mental side. And at times, Louie Varland's been like this, right? Like, oh, he's got all this great stuff. Can he put the pitch mixes together? Can he get the right repertoire? Can he get the right stuff? And can he deliver? Alcala, I think, stuff-wise has it, but he can unfortunately kind of melt down and shipwreck games too.
Yep.
Hey, on Varland real quick. What do we, it's been 14 appearances, a lot of like sixth inning stuff for him. He's not necessarily being asked to get the biggest outs, but this is his first full run as a reliever, and he's got a 2.57 ERA, and his FIP is 3.05, which kind of indicates that the ERA is in line with his process. 19 strikeouts, 4 walks. So 12 strikeouts per 9. The velocity up as a reliever. Strikeouts are up as a reliever. Is there any hope that Varland could graduate to a higher leverage role here from what you guys have seen the first month?
He's been their 8th inning guy the last week. He's assumed that he's theoretically has jumped Griffin Jacks in their bullpen pecking order. I mean, Jacks voluntarily took himself down a little bit so he can figure out things. So as of now, Louie Varland's their best option. Him and I'd say Duran's still your number 1 option, and Varland is number 2. He is inducing so much more chase. You see some of the stuff with the knuckle curve, which kind of got hit a lot pretty hard last year. He threw his slider a lot that got hit hard, but the knuckle curve this year, opponents are hitting just 176, and on the season as a whole, Louie Varland is generating a 95 percentile in chase percentage. Last season, now a lot of that was built in from his failed starts, he was 5% in percentile and chase percentage.
He's gone from 5th percentile to 95th in chase percentage.
So
there you go.
That's
it's almost like he should have been a reliever a couple of years ago. I mean,
I'm glad you said it, because I was going to say one of the greatest first guesses of all time. But I want to start. I don't care, Louie.
Yeah. Fastball also up to his average fastball is 98.1. I think he's even thrown triple digit. I think he's clocked in there a couple times.
He has
this year. So I mean, more velocity, more chase with the knuckle curve. It's been cool to see.
He spent a year begging for dessert, and he wouldn't eat his veggies. And the Twins were like, okay, we'll bring you dessert. And they finally said, no, eat your bleeping vegetables. And now, yes, like, he's really good in this role. Is anybody surprised? The guy's a former wrestler, right? High school wrestler. He treats it like he's wrestling.
Tough as nails. Yeah.
I love it. He is made. God put him on this earth to be in a bullpen.
I think some of it, I mean, there's an ego part of this where to accept the fact that you're a reliever, oftentimes, unless you're like a Houston Street who was wasn't he a closer at Texas and college? There's the rare guy that is like a closer in college and he comes through. But most relievers used to be starters, and there had to be some awkward transition where you're just not that great as a starter, or you're a completely failed starter and your ego has to take a hit. But then, I mean, hell, Glenn Perkins is a great example. He was a first-round draft pick. He was a starter, and he comes up. He had some success, but then he gets kind of roughed up, and it's like this demotion that, oh man, this former first round pick is now going to be a reliever. I guess we'll see. And then he becomes one of the great closers in Twins history on some losing teams. I would love to see him on some winning teams. If you're Louie Varland and you want to make millions of dollars playing baseball, this is your path right here. Lockdown, 8th inning guy. Like, this is what's going to make you millions of dollars potentially playing baseball.
But I want to start because that's where the payday is. Louie, you're going to be out of the league. Like, look at your brother.
Is your path.
You're going to be like Gus. Do you want to bounce around? Like, that's cool.
Wow. It's personal. Jeez.
Well, no, but I mean, Gus is like Gus is pitched for a bunch of teams.
Look at your brother. He's being DFA'd all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. The Dodgers don't want him. The Brewers don't want him. He's a great guy, I'm sure. But yeah, this is his path.
There it is.
And in watching him now, I mean, I see a guy who eventually I think can probably close. Now, I know it's not as big a deal as it used to be to close, but I think he has a very high potential to make a lot of money. We're not talking about a 6th inning slappy type of guy.
Yeah.
One least favorite thing for me, the runners in scoring positions. So actually, I did have this a little off. I forgot to update the spreadsheet. They're actually up to 11th in runners in scoring position.
For what? Week, like batting average, or
yes, by batting average. Yeah, sorry, by batting average, they're 11th with runners in scoring position. So went back and I charted all the runners in scoring positions for these games against the White Sox and Angels. The Twins went 17 for 67 with runners in scoring position. They had a lot of men. They had a lot of traffic on base, and that's a 253 average over the course of the last 6 days. Like, it's not bad. It's a little bit above average, but if you get 67 chances against the Angels and White Sox, bury them. Like, bury them.
Finish them.
The amount of left on bases, players that were left on, they had like 15 over the course of 4 innings against the White Sox at one point. It's like, how is that even possible?
Yeah.
And when you're playing San Francisco and Boston and Cleveland, you're going to have to be a lot more successful than just 17 for 67 with runners in scoring position.
Yep. No, this is a huge stretch. They saved their season. Congratulations. But now they're going to play some teams that are above 500 and much more stacked and talented.
The playoff odds differ, Phil. They think that their playoff odds have gone down in saving their season.
Yeah. I mean, part of it too is that as the season progresses, even if you're winning some games, you're still sitting here. You got to climb 3 teams in your own division.
Yeah.
You got to climb other teams for wild card. One thing that we didn't talk about real quick is it is kind of sad to see Mike Trout still on that team, the Angels.
In right field now.
Batting a $170 in right field. Complete waste of a career in terms of watching this dude play in October, which we don't get to ever. So the fact it's all on him. He could have demanded a trade at some point in the last 5 years, and this is the bed that he has decided to sleep in. So
when they lost Shohei.
Yeah, get out of there, dude.
How everyone didn't decide, Mike and the team. Like, if you're going to lose Ohtani, just say screw it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Hit that like button.
Good stuff, Dex.
Subscribe button here on the Score North Twin Show. We got Trevor Plouffe Tuesday coming up tomorrow as the Twins are playing Cleveland here. So a lot of fun stuff here coming up on the Score North Twin Show. Appreciate you guys, and we'll be talking at you soon.